Hello, everyone.
Hello.
Happy Tuesday. Yes, Tuesday, right? Welcome to the live show for The View from the Top by Rachel Lacey. We're going to chat all about the book today. Can't wait to hear everyone's thoughts. Before we get into introductions and everything is linked down below. The Instagrams for the beautiful, wonderful ladies here, the Discord, the Swoony Instagram, everything's linked down below. And if you guys have anything else to add, we're going to just do quick introductions and thoughts and ratings.
Stunning.
Hi guys, so I'm Karina. You can find me at She Dreams in Words on YouTube and Instagram. I like this. I feel like I like this more than my co-hosts, but okay. Like I just had a good time with it. It reminded me of a book that I didn't enjoy as much, and I'm sure we'll talk about that. But my starting rating is going to be a 4.
That's a slay.
Stunning.
Yeah. Hi guys, I'm Dana. You can find me on YouTube at Dana Ella and Instagram at Dana Ella Reads. My rating on the book, I think, I'm like between I think a 2.5 and a 3. Like I did not hate it. It just felt very mid to me. But I think I'm going to start at a 2.5 and be open to moving up to a 3. But I'm going to go to 2.5. I wanted to love it. I had high hopes. Okay. My hopes were up at the top. Okay. They were there. But unfortunately.
Hi, everyone. I'm Kaylani. Listen, like Dana said, I had high hopes. I wanted to love it. I'm giving it a 2. I'm so sorry. And I genuinely don't think I could be swayed. In fact, I could be convinced to give it a 1. I'm so sorry.
The gas by Gus just now. Oh my God.
But there were a few things that I enjoyed, so I'm gonna keep it at a 2 for now, unless somebody convinces me that it you know what? And I have a theory as to why I didn't like this one as much as I wanted to, but we'll
I can't wait. Yeah.
We're a mixed bag.
Yeah, truly.
This is a mixed bag.
Yeah.
This will be interesting.
Yeah.
Hi, Clint. Loved it. Give it 4.5, and he loves Rachel Lacey.
Hey, love that.
Amazing. Sorry, didn't mean to scare you. Hi, ladies. Hi, Amber. Really enjoyed it. Give it 4.
Hello.
Yeah.
Amazing. And Misty is between a 3.5 and a 4. Okay, wonderful. I'm glad you guys loved it.
Kaylani are we're the outliers. It's okay. Which I like that. I'd rather people have like higher ratings and enjoy it, you know? So
yeah.
Absolutely. I just wanted to mention this little interesting tidbit that I thought was really interesting that I found out while I was reading the book. One of the reasons that I didn't like the book, and this could just be because I'm an audiobook reader, is I didn't care for the audiobook narration. So I went and I looked it up to look at the audiobook narrator, and funny enough, our pick last year for June was Serpentine Valentine, and the same audiobook narrator narrated this book.
Okay, but
no way.
Like that other one?
I did, which is so weird. I think
I wonder which one was first then. Because maybe it has improved.
Maybe.
I don't know.
I just thought it was interesting that both books we picked for June were narrated by.
Yeah, that is. Wow. Like the odds of that are actually kind of crazy.
Yeah. Very crazy. Clint, yes. Sorry.
I did not expect you to say that you could go down to a 1. That really shocked me.
I'm so sorry.
I'm curious to hear like your reasonings.
Yeah, I personally, for me, think that the reason I felt so disconnected from the characters was because this was told in third person. Something about the third person narration, like, just throws me off. And I feel like there's just so much disconnect between, like, the feelings of the story when it's told in third person. I don't think I've ever noticed it as much as I noticed it in this book.
Okay, interesting. It's funny because I like the POV does not change anything about the story for me, which is so weird. Like you would think so, but I never did really know what each story is.
I feel like an idiot because when people talk about like what POV it is, yeah, I'm always just like,
Wow,
like
interesting.
it's like I fear I don't compute all the way. Yeah.
Yeah, like I could figure it out if I thought about it, but I just don't take time to think about it when I'm reading it.
I think one of the things for me was the pacing a little bit. Like I after we had, you know, like their initial like meet and like, you know, spice of 3 chapters straight, it was staying in Diana's like POV for so long. I low-key forgot about Emily. Like I forgot about like her side of the story. And then when it switched over to her, I was like, who are you? I was like, what's happening?
Yeah. It would switch like mid-chapter. So
yeah.
Kind of confusing now.
I do agree. The pacing was kind of funky. Like, I just remember thinking, like, a good chunk of the way through, it's like, have we done anything? Like, I felt like it was so slow, and like it took them so long to be in the same room together, and I was just like, what are we doing? But I did like some of the character dynamics between a couple of the characters, so that's interesting. I had the video pulled up so I wouldn't miss it, but I was doing something else and completely forgot, which is why it scared me. It's happened. I've done it. Hey, bestie. Hi, Amanda. Didn't read the book, but I'm here for the vibes.
Oh.
Thank you for joining.
There you go.
It's so weird. I really never notice POVs unless it's second person. I don't know. I think it's not something I usually notice because I don't mind it in a fantasy. But for some reason, in a romance, it just doesn't seem like it fits for me. And I think it's even more weird when it's multiple perspectives. Something about that, I don't know, it just throws me off. The Insta-lust was way too quick for my liking, but I liked it after the initial meeting. It became a little bit more slow burn.
Yeah.
I never enjoyed POVs either. Maybe it's just a me thing. I'm the problem.
I know a lot of people do say that. A lot of people do have a very like specific thing that they don't like and do like with POVs. I never clock it. Like, and then it makes me think like, am I just like an uneducated reader? I don't know. But like, it's like I never clock it. But I know for a lot of people, they do have very specific like POVs that they don't care for.
Yeah.
I hope y'all enjoyed the book. I feel like it was pretty high ratings. Dana and I were the only ones kind of like a little on the lower end, but for the most part, everyone seemed to really like it.
Which I count that as a win. So
truly. I feel like whenever I'm listening to MM or FF romances, I have to actively remember who's who for the main character. Yeah.
Especially when sometimes like the voice change in the audiobooks don't.
It's like
change
not.
Too much.
Yeah, there was a part where the narrator didn't switch the voice when the POV switched. I did notice that, and I was like, "What? Since when did Emily have a deeper voice?" And it wasn't. Actress's fault.
Yeah.
Also, I didn't really find their chemistry all that believable.
That's tea.
Woo! Okay. Favorite and least favorite characters.
Least favorite, Diana's brother. Oh
yeah. What's his name? Harrison?
Butthole. Yeah.
Yeah.
He just was so mean. Like, ew. Ugh.
Yeah. The favorites? I liked her grandmas.
Yay.
Eve and Grammy. I forgot their names.
I can't remember either, but yes, the grandmas I think were definitely.
Yeah, I like them. Between the two, I would say I like Diana more, I guess. But like she was definitely the stronger character.
Mm-hmm.
But Emily, she was there. She was cute, I guess. I think she had like maybe. Well, never mind. Okay, I was gonna say Emily had more character growth, but not necessarily because Diana like left the family business, like the only thing she's ever known, to like really start her own business venture. But I think they both had their, strong suits. I like that Emily kind of conquered her fear of like, climbing the mountain and leaving her comfortable bubble in Vermont.
Mm-hmm.
I like just traveling, like she's always wanted to do.
Yeah.
Her friends. Her friends are cute.
Yeah.
I like how they welcomed Diana's nephew, Carter.
Yeah. He was a sweetie pie. I enjoyed him.
I really liked him as a character as well.
Yeah.
And I think I was the other way around for characters. I liked Emily more than I liked Diana. Maybe because I just found like Diana to be, I don't know, like all the times when she was like, hey, come out with us, like make friends, be social. And I get like she had like anxiety around that kind of stuff. Like that's not the I just something she just felt like so standoffish to me that I felt like I couldn't connect to her as a character.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I felt like Emily had a little bit more like I don't know. I can't really I don't know how to explain it. I just felt more maybe that, yeah. But Carter was incredible. I thought he was just so funny. He added some levity to the story. Like even when he was like, "I'll be home later. Let me know if I need to stay out later so I don't walk into anything crazy." Yeah. Like I thought that was kind of funny, and he just added a little extra.
Yeah, he really Now I do agree that our main characters both had growth. Like I think that they both really had their own like journey of growth and kind of like realizations of things and stuff. But I think I loved Carter's growth, like his little side story, even more, just with like also doing something scary, which I think that was like kind of like all of them for the most part were kind of taking risks, and everybody's risk looked different, but I loved just like that Carter wanted to have that like found family that he always thought he would have, and that he found it and he was like, yeah, I'm holding on to it. So like basically I'm holding on to it. I'd like to do it with your blessing. Like to his aunt, but yeah, I really enjoyed him.
Hated Diana's brother. I feel like that was a theme. Fave was Emily, least favorite was Diana's brother. He was awful. Like when he was like, "Oh, if you don't send him home, I'm gonna go get him myself." And I was like, "Ugh, he's a grown man."
Yeah.
Like, sir. Yeah. Emily and Carter were my faves. Loved Emily's friend group and Carter, and then same thing, Emily's friend group and the town vibes. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely had that like wholesome small town energy that I feel like we tend to love in a lot of like small town books. It just had that cozy feeling, which was so nice. I also liked how freaked out she was by the bear. Like that would be
honestly though, like same. I would be terrified.
Yeah.
I'm like, I'm not going in that hot tub. And she was like, "You're fine." No.
Stay indoors, actually.
That part.
I'll admire the hot tub from the window.
Yeah.
We'll look at it.
Yeah.
It looks so warm.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Let's see. The whole F Fear motto I loved.
Yeah.
I loved the idea of it. Like I loved what it stood for. Like that, I love it down. Yes. It was just like, I don't know, but like I don't know if it was the narrator, like, and it really that could have been, because that is how I took the story in, was audibly. It just got so cringe to me. Like every time they said it, I was like, release me from these shackles, please. I love the idea of it though. Like what it stood for. Yes. And I support that absolutely. But that was like I don't know and I don't know why. I really don't know why, because typically, honestly, like things being repeated, unless it's like little tuna, like unless it's things like that,
You don't.
yeah. Like
Not worth it.
there are certain things, that can get repeated that will irk me, but for the most part, I feel like it doesn't bother me too much, like for the most part. I don't know. But that one, and they didn't even say it a lot. They didn't even say it a lot. But I don't know. After I heard it the first time, the second, third, and how many other times after that, I was like, please, please, I beg of thee.
Never again.
I don't know.
Yeah, I feel bad saying this, but this was definitely one of those books that I kept looking down at the audiobook and saying, there ain't no way there's 45 minutes more.
Oh no.
Please, but I agree. I feel like that was, for me, it was just really cheesy. I feel like if you make it your motto like one time, like you could say it like one time, like yeah, and maybe like one extra time, be like yeah, and then I think they said it like at least 7 times, and I was like, okay, I get it. I get
I didn't even clock it like that. Yeah, I'm usually the one that's like, okay, that's enough.
Yeah.
It didn't bother me.
The thing is, I like cheesy, so I think that's why I thought this was gonna be like. I picked this up thinking I had very high 5-star potential, because I love a small town, a little hallmarky cheese. Like I eat it up, put it on my TV, and I'm gonna watch every second. It's just, I don't know, this particular cheese did not sit right with me. I am lactose intolerant, so who knows? But this one just wasn't vibing with me.
I think also it doesn't help that you didn't like connect with the characters, or like it just wasn't vibing.
Yeah.
So I think that would really annoy me too.
If
I read something in a book and I'm like, okay, already over it,
Yeah, I feel like honestly you hit the nail on the head. I think like that's probably where most of just my like being like, okay, it's just that I didn't feel super invested in the characters, I guess. And we've talked about it before, but like, some people are very plot driven, some people are very character driven, and I'm typically very character driven. And so it's like when I feel like I can't like super lock in. And I think that's why, like, because I locked in with Carter, every time Carter was on page, I was like, yes. I was loving it. Yeah.
There were several moments throughout the book that added the comedic relief, and I liked that. Yes.
I agree.
I guess I love cheesy. Yeah. I feel like it has to be your brand of cheese,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That sounds like something I would have given 3 stars to. LOL. I don't know.
Just based off of what we've said so far.
Oh my goodness.
All right. Both Emily and Diana had difficult family dynamics. How did that affect their relationship, and were they able to heal from those past wounds?
Well, if Emily, she had abandonment issues, so she definitely struggled in that area with their relationship.
Yeah.
And of course, her conversation with her mom. I think that was like the first stepping stone to like her healing those wounds and being able to move forward with Diana and like her future, because she had such a hard time with change, which I mean, I think we all know.
Yeah.
Change, So I think that definitely helped their relationship like kind of thrive from there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. I think like Emily's abandonment, I think it made itself known, which I feel like is valid. Like, I mean, I think like it's not hard to fathom why, with the way that her mom went about things. And for Diana, that I feel like she just constantly never felt good enough, with her family. And like that is such a deep-seated insecurity, which maybe that might be why I prefer Diana more than Emily's, because like I see her on that, and like that, it was nice to kind of see her like take that chance on herself, like with leaving the family business. And I think like And I think that's part of the pacing too. Like, I know that that's not this like question, but just I felt like that happened so fast. Like, I feel like she was so quick to be like, you know what, peace, and like that kind of like threw me. But I think it was nice to see her take that risk and just understand that, like, as much as I love my family, like, this is not helping me, you know, be in a place where I feel invalidated, I think is what she felt like a lot.
There we go.
Hey.
Sorry, my goodness.
Yeah, I agree. I do think that both of them kind of tackled some of their familial dynamics really well. I just, like you said about the pacing was really strange for me. And so I feel like as much as both of their familial dynamics played a big part in their relationship and who they were and how they treated the world and their relationship, like both things were kind of glossed over so quickly that I felt like either she should have focused more on one or like really honed in on something so it felt like a fulfillment in either one area or the other, you know. But I think she was trying to give like both characters depth, which totally makes sense. I just feel like it wasn't quite properly like zoned in, and so I feel like I was missing something from both dynamics that would have like maybe brought things together a little bit more for me.
Yeah,
I can see that. It's funny you say that because okay, so remember our book from February?
mm-hmm.
How I personally had an issue with like the main male character's resolution with his family, his dad specifically.
Heavy on the
Yeah,
resolution.
yeah, like that was real quick. But in this one, for some reason, it didn't bother me. Like with Emily and her mom. I don't know why, because it was like almost the same energy. Like it was his was face to face, I think, right? But hers was like over the phone.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what the difference was, other than I like maybe I like these characters. I like connected with them like a little bit more. I enjoyed this story, so like I was able to like look past that.
Mm-hmm. That's real though. That is so real when you are connected more into a story. Like certain things don't bother you as much as it might in another story. So that's so real.
Yeah. I think Emily was definitely able to start healing after chatting with her grandparents and her mom.
Yeah.
I like that her grandparents really like called her out and were like, "Girl, this is what you're seeing, and this is what we're seeing, and you kind of have to like figure out how to, you know, bridge that gap."
Yeah. I really loved the grandma's talk with her because, like you said, it's like bridging that gap. And I think like there's so much hurt that Emily had, which was valid. I mean, like I feel like I think it would be much more rare for someone to not have feelings of abandonment going through what she went through. And I think the only people that would be able to help her see another point of view would be people that she trusted wholeheartedly, that she knew they loved her. Nothing that they ever did was to like, you know, work against her, anything, you know, like they were always on her side. I think her grandmas were the only ones that would have ever been able to help Emily see that like other perspective of like, of course, like what you went through sucked, like for lack of a better word, she was also going through her own stuff, you know.
Yeah.
Those grandmas were top tier, man. They really were fantastic.
And I didn't have like a specific question on this because I feel like it's not really a question, but I did want to just like hone in on the fact that, you know, this book was so inclusive, and I loved that. Like I loved seeing like so many different identities that were represented on the page that didn't feel like there for the sake of being there, but like it just felt like it was just so ingrained in this like community and part of this town, and I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I like how did they Emily's group of friends, they could spell out LGBT like they had shirts.
Yeah.
That was cute.
That was
really cute. Although I don't know if it was a setup for something because I don't know if she's written more in this world, but the constant bringing up her friend's relationship that she didn't like.
Oh, Alex and Frankie.
Yeah.
Yes. I was like, is this going to be a book?
The author's note or the acknowledgement? She did say that she wanted to return to the Vermont or something like that.
Yeah.
It's got to be
let's
done.
go. Because I'm sure you read more Rachel Lacey.
Yeah.
So maybe so, because I would read that.
Yeah. If she has plans to go back to Vermont and give me Carter's story,
Oh yeah,
I'll be seated for him. Yeah.
That would be cute.
That could be like such a cute, like coming into his own story. That would be like adorable to read. I don't think they have healed, but they're in the process of healing.
Yeah. Well said.
Very well said. I loved the convo between Emily and her mom because she really held her accountable.
Yeah. That takes like courage, you know, like being able to speak so honestly. Like, I thought
yeah,
really
that's uncomfy. Like,
yeah.
I feel like sometimes in the face of those big conversations, like you feel like sometimes the anger will get you through, but then once the anger subsides, like I just fold. I'm like, yeah, you're right, you know. But she really stood her ground and was like, no, you messed this up. Like I gave you every opportunity and you just weren't there.
Yeah.
But like to leave your child on the side of a mountain.
That was crazy. When she was hurt.
Yeah.
More important to climb that damn mountain.
She said, head to the top.
She said, see you later, girl. The downside. That's crazy.
Which shout out to those grandmas, because I'm telling you, they're the only ones that would ever help her see a different side, because
oh man,
that is inexcusable. I'm sorry.
She was like 10. So her mom was like 26 because maybe 27 because she was 16 and pregnant, essentially.
The frontal lobe is fully developed at that point, babes.
Yeah.
Get the kid and go home.
Yeah, no, seriously. Your priorities are a little out of whack here.
Yeah.
Clearly.
I think I preferred Emily was with her abandonment and fear of change issues hitting home for me. I feel like that's a very universal thing though. Like a lot of people experience that. And so I feel like, especially with a book like this that is so inclusive and to have like to talk about like issues like that, it's like I'm sure a lot of people can see themselves in that scenario.
Yeah.
I wish there was more closure with the little side story with Carter and his dad. Yes. I think I just really wanted a moment where Carter stood up to him and told him off.
Well, if he gets his own book, I feel like she
Yeah.
should include that.
Yeah, that was another thing that I felt like kind of got left at the wayside once we found out what really happened with that little small hotel. Like, then it was just like, the dad was like, yeah, I didn't do it. And then that was it. I was like, okay.
Yeah,
it was a rush to close, I tell you what.
Great, it wasn't you? Oh, I'm relieved. I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
Good for you.
Didn't he was like, I'll have a word with him or something.
Yeah.
Okay.
I was expecting like, I think I made the wrong choice. Are you ever interested in coming back? And then for her to be like, no, Dad, that'd be fine. But I just thought like him just being like, that's not who we are. I will have a word with him. And then it was like, bye. I was like,
she says, can I bring my girlfriend?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Like I feel like Dad should have said, don't worry, we'll be publicly shaming him at dinner, family dinner. Hope you're there. RSVP. Like, then I'd been like, yes, absolutely. But it wasn't enough for me. Like, that is so rude. Like, aside from just like not good business practices, like as a whole, like just how terrible of like family. Like, what?
I loved the inclusivity as well. It felt so natural. Yeah. I think she plans to write more in this world. Okay. I think this is a great, like, I feel like pretty much any small town is like a great place to like build a little world around. And I feel like she did that really well.
Yeah. I just will echo that. Like, although like my rating wasn't like crazy high or anything, I think like she really has set herself up though for like such a beautiful community and like such a great like town that she has endless opportunities, I think, to like build a universe here. So
Yeah.
I do love that aspect. I do think that's awesome because it's just, I love a small town. Just love it. Yeah.
Plus, like the picturesque, like the imagery that she was serving, it's
Absolutely.
so beautiful. Like I would move there. I want to go visit.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. This cover eats. Like this is fantastic. And just like I just feel like I look at it and I'm just like, I need to travel expeditiously
Yeah.
to here, you know? So
I don't know if she will write Carter's story because she typically only writes sapphic. Darn.
yeah.
It's a missed opportunity.
Honestly.
Truly. Clint, if you wrote an MM book, would you read that? Yes.
Probably.
Yes, he would. I can tell by the way y'all are talking that it isn't a 5-star. Yeah, no. You got a 4, a 2, a 3, 2.5?
2.5.
2.5, and a 2. Yeah, oh yeah, there we go. Potentially 1. I like the potentially a 1 and then the parentheses is crazy.
And then 4.
I mean, she's not wrong though. The summit played a huge role in the story. What do you think? If I could write, that'd be great. Of Emily's reluctance to climb to the top.
It made sense, I think. You know, because when she was a kid, she got left on the mountain. So obviously, like, it would be daunting to try and, you know, get to the top by herself or like on her own. I think it just had a lot to do with her relationship with her mom, and that was the root of it, I think. But
yeah. I don't know. I just felt like, girl, just go. Just go to the top. Just do it. You can do it. I believe in you. Like, I feel like I understand it holding her to town, like where she was like very fearful of like leaving town. But I just thought, like, since she's out there, like she hikes all the time and she's there, it's like, I think it would have made more sense to me if she avoided the mountain like altogether. I don't know. Something about that just felt slightly off, but it makes sense. So I don't know how to explain like my feelings on it. It's like, it makes sense. I love the symbolism of it, of like her conquering that at the end. So it's like, I love that. But I think there was just a piece of me that was like, just do it. Like, you can do it. Like, just go. But
she lacked the confidence.
Yeah.
And, you know, of course, little Dee
Mm-hmm.
helped her in that regard, I think, in more than just like the mountain, you know, in life in general. I just thought that was so cute.
No, it doesn't. The symbolism. Oh my God, words was like, it was cute. Like I loved it. But I think it was just because she was on the mountain all the time, like up there by herself all the time, that I was like, is it that emotional to be there? Like, she's out there by herself all the time, and I'm like, I don't know what it is, because typically I'm a sucker for that stuff. Like, you couldn't do it without her. Like, I don't know.
See, I feel like.
Oh, sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying she was also out there a lot for her like art.
Yeah.
That's all. Okay.
I just feel like, I think it's interesting that you say like she's on the mountain all the time, but I feel like that was kind of like the point. I think that the symbolism of like being able to get to a certain point of the mountain but not being able to get to the top was like her feeling stagnant in her life. Like, she was willing to put herself out there with her art just enough to that her presence was there, but not enough to push it to like being her only source of income. So I feel like that like was the idea. Like, she was willing to go only so far, but she wasn't willing to go like above and beyond or push herself so far outside of her comfort zone that she was really like making moves. And I do like the symbolism of that, because I think it's so easy to stay in your comfort zone. It's like, I'm comfortable getting to the middle of this mountain and saying, okay, like, this is it for me. But like, to really push yourself, like say, okay, I'm gonna go to the top, is definitely like, it is much harder. So I do like that.
That was well said.
That was, yeah.
Is it still a 2-star? I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I think that's why it's not a 1. You know, there was some cute little symbolism. So I like the friend group. You know, because I feel like if I didn't like the friend group and it didn't have some like a little bit of emotional impact, that's where I'd be like, okay, 1 star. You know, but I feel like I think that's what's so frustrating about the read as a whole, because I feel like the author for me had a lot of potential to do great. Like there were
Yes.
little stepping stones of like potential to be like incredible, and I just didn't quite hit those things for me.
It wasn't like fleshed out like some of the things in the story that you wanted to happen.
Yes.
I think things sometimes just felt too fast. Like
Mm.
it felt very whiplashy a little bit. Like when they went to the was it when they got the pumpkin at night? Was that
Oh yeah, the fall
apple
festival.
picking, or they went somewhere? Carter was like, "Yeah, they said they invited you. You coming?" You know, and she went, and I just feel like
Mhm.
they were there, and then I blinked, and she was homesick, and I was like, "What?" Like it just felt so fast.
Oh, the apple orchard.
Yes, the apple orchard. Yeah, so before the pumpkin, but yeah, that one just felt. I was like, it's
Yeah.
like it just. I think a lot of things felt fast, but it doesn't make sense to me why it felt like that, because this is like over 350 pages. I think, is it? Am I lying?
Yeah.
I think it's 360.
370.
You know, so it's like I feel like things shouldn't have felt that fast to me, but
Yeah,
indeed
I guess that scene specifically, if she or if she had Diana like interacting with the friend group, because she said she was very isolated. She felt isolated during that outing, and like
Yeah.
her anxiety was high. I think I would assume, social
Yeah.
anxiety. So if she kind of expanded, because that really was like a blink and you miss it kind of a scene.
Yeah.
I think if she
Yeah.
kind of maybe like expanded on it a little bit,
Mhm.
it could have helped.
Yeah, I think she had a lot of the elements there. Like I think she had a lot of the, for me, like like I feel like she had a lot of the bricks there, and it just wasn't forming the house yet. Like
Yeah.
That makes sense, yeah.
Or even if she had like swapped where she put that like taking care of you sick moment, where it was like it wasn't like a tentative portion of their relationship. It's like she wanted to put the trope in, the micro trope of like taking care of somebody while you're sick, but she didn't. It didn't. They didn't have enough connection for it to feel like a meaning. Like I mean, it was cute, but it wasn't like a oh my gosh, I'm swooning. I feel like it was just weird.
Like just for the summer.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, if she had moved that to like a little further down the line, I think it could have had a bigger impact for sure.
Yeah.
I'm still gay gasping at the potential one star. That's funny. I agree with Dana. I'm trying to figure out how to explain it, but I can't.
Yeah, I very much failed on explaining me in that mountaintop. I can't find the words, but yeah.
I feel the fear of even trying to get to the summit. It's the fear of can she, and is she worthy enough to get there? The symbolism, Jesus, was amazing. Golly, kind of like it was made a big deal and it didn't really feel like that big of a deal. Maybe.
Yeah, that might have been it.
Maybe. I think not relating to the characters makes it hard to understand why she couldn't get to the top, if that makes sense.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah. The thing though is like it does make sense. That's why I'm struggling to put the words. Like it makes sense because it was in every aspect of her life. And like she really had a fear of pushing past her norm. Like
Yeah.
so it's like I that's what I'm saying. It's like I don't have the words. I guess it's just a feeling. I don't know.
Yeah. Not a one thing. Not a one is my favorite thing you said. No, I feel like you guys have saved it. It's 2 officially.
Ew.
I thought the taking care was a major stepping stone of them getting together. Yeah. I guess. All right. Favorite / memorable moments.
Yes. Let me pull my note up. First of all, the pumpkin patch scene. The pumpkin, like the fall festival was my favorite. That was my favorite scene. It's like that's when they finally, was like, F it. We're doing this. Let's see. I thought I had a quote. I sure don't. Okay, never mind. Yeah, the first kiss in the haunted corn maze.
Mm.
I just love the whole fall festival scene.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just so
It's
cute.
the vibes. Oh.
Yeah, and it was like when she was describing like trying to find a pumpkin in the patch, like with only like a flashlight, and she took pictures of certain scenes to like try to recreate it through her art. I just love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So cute.
I think for me, very specifically in the fall festival, I really loved that idea of like picking a pumpkin almost like sight unseen of some sorts, you know, and then like in the light of day, it being like, wow, this might not be the most beautiful thing, but like it's my thing, and that makes it so special and beautiful and like wonderful to me. And I loved, like, I don't know, I loved that idea of that. I also thought it was really great, like how how Diana picked the name for her company. Like, you know, that she was already invested before Emily even really understood that, you know, but she was like invested from the jump with the art, you know. And so yeah,
Yeah, because
I think it had like
art,
moments, huh?
like that painting, right? She had bought it before
Yeah.
the company was created, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was one of my favorite scenes. Like her buying the picture and then it coming back full circle, like her walking into her house and being like, and like, I loved your art. And she's like, you did that? I thought that was cute.
Yeah. That's sweet.
Let's see. The hay maze. That was very cute. And sitting in the cabin where Diana was working and Emily was trying to get things uploaded to a shop when Carter had to come to help.
Yeah.
That was really cute. My favorite, another one before I get to that comment was the trivia night. Like,
with Diana, like,
a boss. Yeah.
She said, "You're not losing today."
Oh God. It was their friend that went to the other team. And I was like, well, I don't know what it is, but it doesn't matter what team I'm on. We're losing.
Yeah.
Like,
I change teams and I still lose.
that was great.
I also love the apple picking scene. Who was the girl that she ran into? Who was that woman?
Margot.
Mm-hmm.
She was Alex's roommate, college roommate.
Yep.
Oh. Okay.
I think Alex or someone had a thing for the other person, and then Emily felt like kind of left out because she was supposed to be roommates with Alex.
I must not have been listening.
This is the friend that flew in from somewhere.
Got it.
Where that was, I don't remember.
I love the idea of that scene as well, Dina. Yeah.
Like, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, go ahead. You got it.
No, just saying, like, when Diana did see it the next day, she was like, wow, I never would have picked this one, but I love it. And I was just like, because it's like how things, like moments that are so meaningful to us, like, can just really alter the way that we, like, view other things, where it's like you start to see the beauty in things that you might not have seen before because you're like, the moment that this happened, like, was so special, you know? Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I love when Diana fell asleep outside after work and Emily just sat out with her and painted. That was very cute. She didn't want her to fall asleep and be like left in the dark. That was very cute.
Yes.
That was sweet.
No, at the apple picking was the rich woman who. Oh, okay, so yeah, this is what I was talking about.
Okay.
That was an example of what not to do in the town. Got it.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, because I was like, she's like, do you know who that was? And I was like, no, I don't know who that was. Margot was at the festival.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, that scene, I love that she brought this up because I definitely would have forgotten about this. This was so cute. I feel like it was so early too in their relationship.
Yeah. Also, can we talk about the spice? I thought the spice, like the first spicy scene, where they had like a little row reversal. I thought that was fun. Yeah,
I think she wrote it well. I was not expecting like 3 back-to-back chapters for the whole scene, but I will say I feel like it fit like the idea of the story, because like their whole thing at that point was just this one night. you know, and so it's like I feel like it had to be memorable, you know, and so I mean, Rachel was writing it down. Okay, so hats off, ma'am.
I feel like I would have enjoyed The Spice more if I hadn't listened to the audiobook. Something about that audiobook narration of The Spice, I wanted to throw up in my mouth. But the scenes themselves were very sexy. I think that she did like that exploration of like dominance very well. I just the audiobook, I didn't like it.
That narrator, you gotta put her on the list that you don't think of anymore. Right?
Okay, so we've come to the end of our questions, so I have to ask the true question that always reigns. Did you swoon?
Maybe like a half.
Okay.
Not a complete swoon, but there was potential.
Unfortunately, no. For me, I think there were like swooning moments, like the one that Amber said. Like I'm so like you said, I'm glad that she brought that up because the way that really just I had floated right out of this brain cell, like the singular one I still have, like I forgot about it. So it's like, but there were moments like that. I think had like so like they were swooning moments, but like I did not, unfortunately, did not swoon.
So I feel like this was a moment where the caterpillars were in the cocoon and they could have turned into butterflies in my tummy, but they didn't, you know? So unfortunately for me, no, I did not. That was a weird analogy, and I'm so sorry.
It made sense.
At the first hookup was hot, and yes, I did swoon. Okay.
Oh, okay. I didn't talk about the one moment that I highlighted, but when they were in the bar, like their first little date after first meeting, and that guy was hitting on Emily, and then Diana just kind of swaggers in and like puts her arm around her waist. I thought that was hot.
So I love moments like that.
Yeah. I was like, oh, okay.
That's it. Yeah.
Yeah.
I love moments like that in books, in movies, especially because he was so like just very uncomfortable. Like the way he really like she was like no, and he just kept going. Like, oh, and Diana just swooped in. Like, yeah.
I was like, oh shoot. Yeah.
Yeah.
Another good scene.
Yeah. You know, it'd be like that. It'd be like that. I will say, as a gay man, that first hookup was hot. It was definitely, I'll tell you what, it was well written.
You know what's so funny is like that's what the book was kind of based around, right? Like they're only a one night stand, and like I still didn't expect it to be so spicy. I don't know why I thought that, but I was not mad at it personally.
I also liked the hot tub scene. I feel like those were the two scenes that I found the most like steamy. I liked the hot tub scene.
Yeah.
That was good.
All right. Well, that's the end of our questions. Anybody changing their rating?
Ooh.
I'm gonna keep my 4. Yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna say my 2.5.
I'm sticking with my 2. I think we're safe.
That's a window.
You know, yeah. I was like, shocked. Yeah, we didn't go down.
Ew.
That's a plus.
That is, yeah.
Clint says still at a 4.5.
Okay. Yeah.
Not a related topic of the book, but I looked on Instagram and couldn't find it. But is there any more planned live sprints for Swoony or Camp Nightmare? Swoony, no.
Yeah. Camp Nightmare, there will be for sure. I'll definitely post on the Instagram when the pop-up happens, and also in the Discord if you're in there. But there's also at the end of the month, the last weekend, camp cleanup, and there'll be sprints like all throughout there.
Yeah.
I love that we're out here cheering on a 2.
Woo!
You know?
It had all the elements there. Like I'm not writing off the author. You know what I'm saying? Like I think like the elements were there to get there, you know.
I think I'm going with a 3.5. I thought it was cute. It was bingeable, but it didn't blow me away, which is still a very good rating.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Alrighty then.
It is indeed.
I think our last. Oh, I'm sorry, Karina. Go ahead.
I was say it's not, the worst book we've had.
True.
Yeah, it's plus.
I can think of many at the top of my head that, well, not many, but a couple
Oh, yeah.
that I could put lower than this.
See that will. Yeah.
Okay.
You might read between the lines then, Dana.
I will check it out.
Interesting.
All right, I think our last what am I trying to say? The last item of business.
Order of business.
Order of business. That's the word I couldn't figure out the order part. I got the business part. The last order of business is the wheel, the spinner wheel. For yes, thank you, Karina, for Ruthless Creatures. And Dana's gonna take care of that today.
Yeah. All right, friends. So we're spinning. The lucky winner is Misty. Woo! That spin was loud. My bad. It was rattling my bones.
Loud and proud.
Honestly,
it was very loud. And that last little tick, I wasn't expecting it. I was like,
yeah.
Congrats, Misty. Let us know. Reach out to us on Instagram or Instagram. I would say is probably the easiest. If you would like either a physical, an audiobook, or a Kindle copy of the book, and then we will send it your way. And that is going to be, yes, thank you, Ruthless Creatures by J.T. Gessinger. It is a mafia romance.
That's pretty.
Yeah. I'm excited. Yeah.
I love seeing the host divided on a rating. It definitely makes an interesting conversation.
I feel like she's plotting on our downfall right now.
She said, somebody love it and somebody hate it now.
It's interesting because I feel like this doesn't happen often.
No,
it doesn't.
It's very rare. So
yeah.
It does make for an interesting discussion.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Lots of congrats for Misty. Thanks, of course. Thank you for joining us, everybody, and congrats to Misty. Already read the July book. I'll be there at the live show to hear everyone's thoughts. Wonderful. I'm excited for more. Yes, JT. I'm also excited to read more. Dana, you still haven't read Pen Pal, right?
No, this will be my first one. I'm so excited. Yeah.
I think I've actually randomly I read the 4th book in the series. I don't know why. Don't ask me why. I ate it up. I gave it 5 stars. It was so good. Yes, I'm excited for this one. Our live shows this year have been like that.
Yeah.
It'd be like that. It really do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It happens.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to add before we say goodbye for today?
No, just a big thank you to everybody for being here. It really means a lot to us just being able to chat with everybody when they show up.
Yes, I agree. And hopefully we see you guys next month.
Yeah.
Yes. Thank you, everyone, for being here. Thank you, ladies. Don't forget to check out the description box for all things Swoony. And we will see you guys very, very soon in July.
Bye.